All right, folks, welcome back. As we continue our discussion of parts of speech, this will probably be the last video I make on parts of speech, unless, of course, you have questions. If you do have questions, please feel free to ask me. I'll be more than happy to make more detailed videos addressing maybe a specific part of speech a little more. But please rest assured that as we continue working with grammar, working on sentence structure, diagramming, and things like that, all of these bits, the specific parts of speech, will be reiterated throughout. All right. I want to look specifically at parts of speech modifiers. Okay. When we talk about modifiers, we are mainly dealing with adjectives and adverbs. All right. So, when I ask students what do adjectives do, almost all of them will say describes a noun. All right. In the biz, we don't usually use the term describes. We like the word modifies. All right. It modifies it in that it does specify. And a lot of times, yes, I think description is one way to modify it. All right. But modifying opens it up a lot broader, especially for adverbs, because adverbs don't always just describe, but they will modify. And we'll talk about that here in just a second when we get to it. All right. So adjectives, yes, modify nouns. All right. They modify nouns. This is when we get to, if we want to specify a specific type or a specific color or a specific aspect of a person, place, thing, or idea. All right. He is a tall guy. Okay. That is a fast car. All right. She is an intelligent girl. All right. Those kinds of things. So I could say, he's a guy. Well, there is a room full of guys. Which one? Oh, he's the tall guy over there. Okay, now I have the specific one to look for. Same thing here, the fast car. Not my car. I drive a hybrid, so it's not necessarily the fastest thing, but it gets good gas mileage. Intelligent girl. There may be a lot of girls in here, but the one who's really smart is the one I'm talking about. All right. So this is what we do here. Now, I will get at some point a little more specific with a certain type of adjective called a participle. All right. Kind of consider this your preview to participles. Participles essentially look like nouns. Look like verbs, sorry, but act like adjectives. Okay, and what do I mean by that? Well, every single one of you has this in your house. I'm certain of it. You all have running water, right? If you see running most of the time, you think of running as a verb, don't you? That's an action. We just talked about running a few times in the verb-related parts of speech. But here, running is not a verb at all. It's describing the water. Okay? It is modifying the type of water, right? In that, it's not just water. It's not stagnant water, which we could make complete sense that is an adjective. All right? It's not still water. It's not tainted water. It's not warm water or cold water, all right? It's running water. But this ing makes it look like a verb, but it's actually performing the duties of an adjective, okay? And that's what we call it participle. So a participle is, yes, it is still an adjective, but it's a specific type of adjective. And we will address this a little further as we get more accustomed to our grammar discussions here. All right. Now, running is present tense, right? Running water. All right. You can have things that are past tense, right? A broken heart. Okay. Broken is the past tense of break, right? As far as a verb goes. But we have broken heart. This is acting as an adjective because it's modifying the heart. Okay. So that's a little something, a little preview for later. But all of this, all of what we're doing here is we're just modifying our nouns. Okay. That's pretty easy stuff. Adverbs get a little trickier. All right. I want to move this up here if that's okay. So if you need to pause to let that sink in for a moment, feel free to do that. All right. So, as my Italian teacher always asks, can I cancel these? All right. So here we go. Adverbs. All right. Adverbs. When I ask students what an adverb does, almost always the students will just say describes a verb. All right. So I've already told you why I prefer modify to describes, but yeah, so it modifies a verb. Yes, it does that. It also modifies an adjective. And it modifies another adverb. So in reality, this thing has 3 specific jobs, which makes it a little more tricky to pin it down sometimes than it does for other parts of speech. And so let's talk about each individually. All right. So adverbs, they modify verbs, adjective, and other adverbs. Put it down there because I'm not sure if I'm running off of the screen for you to see. All right, so an adverb will modify verbs, will modify adjectives, and will modify other adverbs. Okay. So what do these look like? All right, well, let's look at how they modify verbs. All right. If we want to stick with run, because that seems to be one that we rely upon quite a bit. So I can run quickly, or I can quickly run. It doesn't matter. All right. I can slowly walk. I can clumsily walk down the hallway, okay, or whatever. In a lot of cases, not always, but in if you see ly, it's almost a dead giveaway that that word is going to be an adverb. But like English, that's not always the case, but all right. See, how else do we want to do this? How about this? I learned soon not to rely on him. All right? Now, here's the deal. I learned. How did you learn? Or at what time did you learn? Okay, soon. So we have quickly modifies ran. Right? In this case, soon is modifying learn. Because think about it. I didn't soon. What happened soon? Learn. Learned is what I did soon. So to look at this, adverbs will answer certain questions. Okay. They answer how When. To what extent? How, when, to what extent? So this would be like I learned soon, okay? Like when? When did you learn? Soon enough. I'm still giving you a time frame of when I learned that. How did you run? Quickly, all right? In what way did you run quickly? All right, so to what extent? I'll show you how this works here in just a second. So let me show you. This is an adverb modifying a verb. But what about an adverb modifying an adjective? All right. An adverb modifying an adjective. What does that look like? Well, do you remember some of the adjectives from before? I had tall boy, right? I had fast car. And I had intelligent girl, right? So he's a tall boy, all right? To what extent is he tall? Oh, he's a very tall boy. Okay, so tall is modifying boy in this case. But is very modifying boy? No. Very is modifying tall. So he is tall. To what extent is he tall? Very tall. All right? So this is an adverb that is modifying an adjective, that is modifying a noun. All right? We have a fast car. All right? Well, it's extremely. Well, an extremely fast car. In this case, fast is modifying car, right? So as we know exactly what type of car we're talking about. But to what extent is it fast? It is extremely fast. So extremely is modifying fast. We don't have an extremely car. We have a fast car. Now, just how fast is it? Extremely. We have an intelligent girl. So we have an extraordinarily intelligent girl. All right? So this girl is intelligent. That's an adjective describing a noun. To what extent is she intelligent? She is extraordinarily so. She's not an extraordinarily girl. She's an intelligent girl that happens to be intelligent to the extent of extraordinarily. All right? So that is how an adverb modifies an adjective that is modifying a noun. All right? Hope that makes sense to you. If not, please send me emails, and I am more than happy to discuss it. All right. So, let me move this over just a little bit. Let's talk about adverbs modifying other adverbs. All right. So here we have, quickly run. I run quickly. But what if I were to, say that he runs very quickly? All right. So the boy runs quickly, right? So this is an adverb. To what extent is it quickly? It's very quickly. So this is an adverb. So the boy does not run very quickly. He runs quickly. How quickly? Very quickly, all right? So do not look at these as if they are a two-word unit, and both of them are modifying run, all right? Those two words are individual words, and they remain individual because they do two different, they perform two different roles, okay? I could say, let's see, how else do we want to do this? Give me another, how about this? My mom cooks very well. All right. How does she cook? Well, she cooks well. How well? Very well. Oops. Okay. My dad, he could type really fast. All right. How did he type? He typed fast. To what extent? Really. Okay. So, again, this is very quick. We have an adverb modifies verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. Here's it, I run quickly, or I might quickly run, or I learn soon not to rely on him. So then we have the adjective. Okay, an adverb modifying an adjective. He's not just a tall boy, he's a very tall boy. All right, and again, do not think of these as a unit to say the boy is very tall. The boy is tall. To what extent is he tall? Right. So these two words are to remain separate. All right, so this needs to be gone here. All right. So this is an adjective, and this is an adverb, and this is an adjective, and this is an adverb, and this is an adjective, and this is an adverb. All right. So how did I run? I ran quickly. When? So I could even say like yesterday I went to the store. All right. I went when I went yesterday. So this is actually an adverb right here, modifying when I went. Okay. So if you need to replay this, please feel free to do that. Pause it at any time. Do what you need to do. And please, if you need more help in looking at these a little more closely, then please email me and I will make a video that gets a little more into it. All right? So, I know it was kind of quick. I know that there was a lot that just kind of came at you, but there you are. Parts of speech, modifiers, adjectives, and adverbs. All right? Until next time, see you later.